Hello, the internet. Welcome back to the Waste of Time podcast, where one of the two hosts today forgot to take their meds. Can you guess which one? Anyway, I'm Oliver Giles, here again with Ben Rose, and we're back to more of a normal structure this time around. I think the last two episodes have been a bit different. This is going to be, I think, a quicker episode than we used to do, but still with the normal structure, different segments, and I think it actually might be the first time you all see the new segment intro, so I'm excited. Let's get going. First of all...
Sadly, you will not... Oh, sorry. I have to add this in because this is very important. You will not get to hear those 2-hour-long segments where we just talk about, really stupid shit. Now, it's going to be a 30-minute long segment. Yeah. And I know that wasn't warranted, but let's keep going.
Yeah, let's move on. So, Ben added some interesting stuff to the Life in College slide.
Yes. We gotta understand that it's been 2 years since we went off to college. Do you remember that? That summer, it was
that summer felt more like not a summer because that was also COVID. So it was like 9 months or whatever, 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah, it felt super. My summer was definitely short. I think it was like the same. It was the longest summer I've ever had, and it was bad. It was a really bad.
I got gout during that time. That was fun.
Yeah.
I got a treadmill, then 2 years, I got a treadmill, then 2 days later I got gout.
It's a very great thing that happened. That's wonderful, and we're very glad that happened. I'm kidding. No, it's not. But think about the time that it's been. It's been 2 years, and how have we changed in those 2 years? Just thinking about back to 2 years ago. I'm definitely a different person.
Oh yeah.
I would consider myself to be...
Wait, Ben, we'll talk about this later, but 16th inning.
Holy shit. Wow.
We'll talk about that we'll talk about that very briefly in the MLB update, but anyway. So yeah, quarantine was a weird time, I think, for both of us. We got the podcast out of it, so that's something, but...
That's true.
It's, I actually don't reflect on it that badly. I probably should, but at that time... It didn't really do much to change. At the time, I really wasn't doing much apart from school and, being at home and exercise anyway, so it wasn't, changing much from what I was doing. Oh, actually, no, it did make me miss the final two nifty events of my high school year, so...
Yeah.
So that does suck, actually, now I think about it.
It wasn't the worst thing that happened in my life. And it wasn't the worst... it wasn't the worst... It might have been one of the worst summers of my life, but it wasn't the worst year. 2020
I've certainly had summers I look back on less fondly than that one. Some summers I had some really bad.
2021.
What? 2021?
Last summer.
No, last summer was great. I went to England last summer. No, 2015. Summer 2015. That's when I started becoming really depressed and all that. So, I have personal issues with other summers, but 2020 was just weird as hell.
Yeah.
I was at school for 2 months before summer started. So I was at home for 2 months before summer started.
The podcast kind of started out of a need for us to, talk to each other, and we wanted to share. As stupid as this sounds, it was a Family Guy joke on one part, but on the other part, we wanted to share our shit with you because, everyone was going through quarantine, and it just feels like now, people are. It's like when you're in high school, you're all going through the same thing, but then I was
actually inspired to do a podcast. I've done a 2-episode podcast in the past. I did 3 episodes of the Shadow Ninja podcast with Eric in 7th grade. But I heard Adam Ferrara, who's a comedian, did a podcast. I'm like, hey, this is a really low effort thing he's doing in quarantine. We could totally do this, and we did it.
And then the Family Guy thing too. But subconsciously, it was really because I don't know. I think people could kind of relate to us at the beginning. We were all in quarantine. We were all doing no matter how popular or cool you were before quarantine, you were a loser in your home for the first 4 months. So you can find.
And then after 4 months, I became a loser with gout.
Yeah, you can relate to some things, Sorry.
So also, yes. If the audio sounds different, it's because we've given up Zoom. We're on Discord this time.
Yes, please. We've become Discord kittens, and we will never. And you should give us free Nitro.
The fuck did you just call? I actually have free Nitro for 3 months. I've not used it yet, but
I also have free Nitro from a Discord mod because I'm their kitten. So
you're a Discord. Yes. Are you actually a Discord mod, Ben?
Yes.
I'm judging you very heavily right now.
It's okay. I've been judged for worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uno.
Alright, chill.
Sure.
Chill.
Anyway, so yeah, quarantine, it happened, I guess. I don't really know what to say. I don't really, sorry. I really don't know what else to say about that. Quarantine happened.
I guess it was more just like a reflection, like just thinking about what it was like, I guess.
I think it was such a time flowed so weirdly during quarantine. It's weird to think it was 2 years ago.
True.
No, it's more than 2 years ago.
A little bit more, but like 2 years ago was when we started college.
Right. I guess that's kind of where all that came from. Yeah. Right. We're coming up on 3 years of the podcast in April. So.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The first day of quarantine was my birthday, my 18th birthday. I was so pissed about that.
The first day of quarantine in SF was my brother's birthday, so that was fun. Yeah. On March. Okay. All right.
Let's move on to our next segment.
Not
personal segment. So Ben, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Thermodehydrates, SF, and published.
Okay, yeah, so it's just thermodehydrates, but I'm just going to use this to talk about my classes because we didn't talk about it yet, and we always fucking do that.
Yeah.
So, I'm taking inorganic chemistry, physical chemistry, biochem / molecular bio intro to, and ecology. I'm not taking any labs, and physical chemistry is kicking my ass. It's thermodynamics. You have to know all these really complex equations, explain shit with a shit ton of math, calculus. It's really fun, I guess, if you like dying. So I have a midterm on Friday, and I've been studying this entire weekend because I'm a little nervous. And so I haven't really had much time to do anything else. That's why I called it thermodihydrates. Well, he put thermodihydrates as thermodynamics. I don't know why you put hydrates.
Because I wanted to be stupid.
Okay, that's fair.
I know it's not thermodihydrates. I wanted to be stupid and make it sound weird.
True.
Remember, Janus perfume. I don't know what it is, but Janus perfume. Remember that.
The journal of anus.
I'm just looking at screenshots for Gotham Knights, and that's like on one. It's like a billboard in the background of one of the screenshots. I'll talk about that later. I'll talk about that later in the Xbox segment. Moving on. So Ben, SF.
Yeah, so I went to San Francisco, back again. Ooh, I was spending most of my time in Irvine.
That's right, you did. You were in San Francisco for like 2 weeks, and you also went to Hawaii.
No, not even. It was honestly, it was a week. It was like a week and a half. I don't know. I don't really remember. Because every day, except 3 days, I was out. I went to visit my friends in random colleges. I went to Moraga. I went out to be with my college friends in the city. We all came up. I visited a bunch of places and people. I was like a tourist, and it was one of the most fun experiences that I've ever had. When I go back to SF, I'm just going places all the time. I'm not gonna stay in my house. Why would you do that in a beautiful city like that? I don't know. Being in Irvine really just taught me that I need to cherish what I have. I was born and raised in one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and I might as well just stay there.
Speaking of which, at one point, I want to bring this up for no apparent reason. At one point in 6th grade, you kept telling everyone that you lived in Canada and then Oakland.
True. I remember that.
Ben, tell me something.
In elementary school,
Ben, why do I remember that?
Because I'm such a good liar. I love spreading misinformation that it just sticks in your head.
Like your dog named your dog named Couscous or whatever it was.
Huh?
You're not dog?
Yes, that I had a Pomeranian named Couscous. That was a lie that I told. That was so funny!
It was in drama class. Why do I know this stuff? My brain...
How do you...
I can't remember basic math shit, but I remember this.
I lied to my parents that everyone in my grade had a DSI, and that's how I got a DSI. But no one in my grade had a DSI. I was the first one. I went to school, I'm like, haha, I got a DSI. And then they figured it out, and then they didn't buy me a birthday present for 2 years. But... it's okay, because I got a DSI. And they didn't take it away. So
lying to your parents is good?
That's what we've learned.
That's all right. I guess that's our new motto. Waste Time Podcast. Lie to your parents.
Lying to your parents is good. Let's do it.
Hashtag lie to your parents. Don't do that.
The last thing I want to talk about is I have been published in a scientific paper.
We mentioned this last time when you were being published, but now you're officially published.
Yeah, so there was some issues with. So every single time when you publish a scientific paper, you have to go through this super stupid rigorous process where people will peer review your work and then shit talk it for like months, and then you need to find the people that shit talk it the least, and then apply to that journal and get in, and then get shit talked again, and it's a whole fucking cycle until somebody realizes that your work is good, and then they publish it. So we got published in a journal with an impact factor of, I think it was 15, which is a really, really high impact factor.
What's it? What 15 out of what?
It's not 15 out of anything. It's just that the most journals get less than a 1.
Got it.
So ours is 15, and Nature, which is the biggest journal, gets, I think, 29. So it's like, it's pretty up there, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a very important work, and it says some very important things, and I'm very glad to be a part of it. And there's going to be more of those on the way, so stay tuned for some new scientific content.
I'm also published, but you can't find my stuff because I wrote it under a pseudonym.
Just say what the pseudonym is. Oh, okay, yeah, but say what the pseudonym is.
If you can find a pseudonym, a script by Kyle Butler. No, I'm kidding. No, it's not. Neither of those two facts is correct. I did not do that, and also, it's also not the pseudonym I used.
I'm sure neither of those two facts are correct. Yeah, totally.
Sure.
I'm sure.
Anyway, so I thought the SF part was going to be you apologizing for the SF Giants or something.
Oh, no. We'll talk about that in the MLB report.
Yeah, we should. Okay. So should I move on to my stuff now?
Yes.
So, DSLR, I got a new camera. Well, a refurbished 2017 Canon Rebel EOS, which is just awesome, at least to me, because I'm doing a photography class. And I've been doing fine with my old camera for years. I got in 2017, my old one, but it is 16 years old, and it needs some work, you know.
It needs a new.
The camera, the camera I had on that camera was fine. The actual quality of it was that of my iPad Mini 4. So It wasn't exactly ideal. But I got a new one refurbished, which indirectly led to an issue I'll talk about in my personal slide.
Oliver?
Is there a bomb going off?
There was a lightning flash? That was a fucking thunderstorm?
That picked up on the audio. I said, is there a bomb going off? What the hell was that?
It looked like it was a camera flash. I am so sorry, everyone. I apologize for the sky, but holy shit.
God is mad at Ben.
Power outage, I want to warn you, Oliver, I might just drop out in the middle. And if I drop out, that's why. Okay?
Yeah. No problem. So, so I got a new DSLR. That's cool. Tech hates me, alright? I've had issues, I'll tell you this in the last couple weeks. So, there was an issue with something else, which I'll bring up my personal slide. There was an issue with the DSLR, which I'll bring up my personal slide. There was an issue with my phone. I solved that. And then there was another issue with my phone, and long story short, I figured out that my phone was eligible for a free upgrade without... There goes Ben!
No, I just turned on my thing.
Oh, okay, alright. I was about to say, Ben, are you... Okay, you're still there?
Oh, yeah, I'm still there. Yeah.
I thought that... Because I saw something come up in the chat, and I thought that Ben disconnected. Never mind. So, okay. So I figured out, long story short today, that my iPhone 11 Pro Max was because it was stuck in a cycle where it would turn on, Apple logo would come up, turn off, and I couldn't get it. Apple said, hey, take it to an Apple store. The closest one to me is Portland. Or somewhere in California, so that was not an option. Turns out that through AT&T, my phone was available for an upgrade without a trade-in, so I just got a 13 Pro Max today by accident.
You can't just ship it back to them?
I'm going to take it to an Apple store at some point, or ship it to them. But the thing is, I don't currently have a car. I've got a bus pass and Lyft, which are both digital, and I need to go to Medford for doctor's appointments in the next week. So I needed a phone immediately. So, but hey, you know what? Free upgrade, and my phone is blue.
Whoa! It's.
I guess.
Yeah. Holy shit!
It's also ecstasy color.
It is raining very hard right now.
It's ecstasy color.
It's like hailing. Oh my god.
Is it actually?
No, yeah. Oh, but you don't understand. Today was SF weather and then.
Well, I know that's what Irvine is, really. It's like Texas.
It just shat itself. The sky literally just did a massive, diarrhea,
It's more like a deer poo. Diarrhea would just be like liquidy, not hail.
Dog, what do you think rain is?
You said hail though, so.
Okay, but what if you have like corn? Like if you have corn, it's like diarrhea, but you have corn.
There you go.
Okay, yeah.
Now the question is, do you clean off the corn and then eat it for $1 million or no?
That's a Mike Huckabee question. You'd have to ask Mike Huckabee because he did answer that at one point in his life. So
anyway,
yes.
I have an XTC colored phone and a new DSLR. Let's move on to the next segment, which is also me talking about my DSLR and what happened. So, as we've discussed, onto my segment. As we've discussed on this podcast before, I am an idiot. I was waiting for Ben to say something, but I'm an idiot. That's what I'm supposed to say. Yeah, I'm dumb. I canceled my own debit card. Surprisingly, though, to make me feel less stupid, I guess, when I talked to the person at Chase Bank about this, I'm not the only person to make this mistake. So, I was buying a new camera, which was $600, and because of that, it comes up as a fraud alert on my account, which makes sense. And I got a text message saying, "Hey, was this a fraudulent purchase?" I pressed no. What it actually said, "Was this you?" And so as soon as I typed in no, it canceled my debit card. And then...
again. Thunder. Sorry. Wait. Oh. Because it's not happening. Go ahead.
That was anticlimactic.
No, it might happen.
Sure. Okay. So I canceled my own debit card because I'm stupid.
Yeah.
And then I immediately realized that I'd not changed my address from like California. So I went and changed the address in the app immediately, which is good. But because of that, it canceled the card it was going to send out to me automatically it's like, oh, a fraud alert will automatically send you a new card. And so they didn't ship it to the right address, and it got lost on the way.
Oh,
so I went. Yeah, I know. Fuck USPS. They lost $6 billion last year, and I know how. They put it in the packages they did not deliver. That's how they lost it. They lost it along with my fucking debit card. So I also more bitching about USPS coming up in a second. So I went into Chase Bank branch nationally, and they overnighted me a new card. So that's all good. Now I actually did go ahead and buy the new camera after that and did it properly, so I didn't get any more issues with my debit card. The camera started out in Mobile, Alabama, and then went to Hawaii, and that is where it stayed for 6 days because it got lost. USPS could not find the package to put on the new plane from Honolulu to fucking California to Oregon.
Talk about a mobile camera.
Yeah, really it is.
Because it's from mobile and it moved.
Yeah, the second best thing to come out of Mobile, Alabama, only after Hank Aaron. Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, my USPS lost my upwards of $500 fucking camera in Honolulu. And when I actually messaged USPS, and they're like, "Yeah, we can't do anything about this." On their website, Ben, on the USPS website.
So you hit them up and you told them.
Yep, they say, they're like, "Yeah, we don't know." On the USPS website, they have a message that says, "Do not email the Postmaster General." Right underneath that is the email of the Postmaster General. I emailed the Postmaster General. That's how I got my fucking package.
So you hit up the Postmaster General, and did you ask him,
finally, I got the accurate tracking for where my package was, and they are actually refunding the priority mail deposit. Because I actually did something. Because I paid for this to be 2 days shipping, by the way, from Alabama. Instead, it ended up being 4 days late, and as a show of good faith, I guess they're refunding my deposit.
So that's like, I don't know why that always happens to you, but you have like uniquely bad experiences with USPS. At least, like maybe I just have uniquely good experiences.
I think it's that you have actually good experiences.
Dude, I've never had a bad experience with the USPS.
My friend hates USPS.
FedEx, ass.
Yeah, so, FedEx is also bad, but like I think you're just like the one person in the world who's stealing everyone else's USPS luck. My friend has a fucking PO box because they're so bad at delivering it to his house. And they still went and delivered it to the wrong address, and so he went in there.
But don't your friends all live out in you guys live out in the sticks, right?
No, this is my friend who lives in Boston.
Oh, I mean, it's Boston. Who wants to go there? Nobody. Like, nobody wants to go to Boston.
I like Boston.
I
Shut the fuck up. No.
Boston.
Boston.
What?
Speaking of Boston, I've been watching Survivor. I'll talk about that in my media segment.
Celtics. Oh, landing again.
Anyway, let's move on.
Is that Thunder?
No.
Okay. Next slide. Landing again.
Technically, I do have one that my friend asked me. Not really viewer mail. What, Ben? What was your worst experience with an air mattress? That's thunder. That's thunder.
So you guys know Oliver, right? Like you guys
Oh, here we go.
So one time, in middle school, this is a middle school thing. I pride myself on I've never ever pulled an all-nighter in my life. I've always gotten some sleep every night except one. And you may ask, what was that one night? It was Oliver's house in San Francisco.
Yeah, let's say this is my house in San Francisco because the one in Watsonville, you always slept on like the bed, like a tunnel bed. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was slept on the one upstairs. But
yeah,
the air mattress in Oliver's house wasn't the problem. The air mattress wasn't the problem. The problem was you and Eric were just saying things like "shmeat" all night, and middle school me thought that was the funniest thing.
This was we came up with. Oh, that was my 14th birthday.
I was laughing so hard when you said "shmeat" that I was just.
And then
like,
it was shmeat. It was the joke. It was Miss Nelson's tits.
I think at some point
it was the Boner Town quotes of the year. That's what this was. Is what you're talking about.
I think at some point in that night you were like, "Oh, do you want to like do melatonin like it was a drug? Like you were talking about."
We did melt melatonin. We did melt melatonin with a lighter. We were idiots. We were really stupid middle schoolers.
Remember when you beat up a school bus with a sledgehammer?
I don't
like a model school bus.
Oh, you mean the one I lit that on fire over the summer with Theo? Is that what we're talking about?
Do you remember the Wii incident? The Wii U incident?
No, it was a Wii. The Wii I destroyed.
Yes.
That was Laurel School's old Wii. I remember because it stopped working, so I gave them my Wii and I took the broken one. I wonder what happened to my old Wii. I wonder what they did with that when Laurel School shut down.
They probably gave it to like someone.
I bet they probably auctioned it off to the families.
Might be at Brightworks, who knows?
God, Brightworks. Yeah, they repainted Star. I drove past her. They repainted Star of the Sea. It looks like
they actually
white.
got rid of Star of the Sea. They added a different thing.
I actually know somebody who went to Star of the Sea when it's being shut down. They go to SOU now.
I know somebody else who went to Star of the Sea. Wait, what? Star of the Sea got shut down like very, very, very recently. Sorry, not when it shut down. I understand went to Star of the Sea. Their sibling was the Star of the Sea when it shut down. My brain went. Sorry, yeah, but so I yeah. That's like one of my best friends from high school too. She went to Star of the Sea, and her sibling I think went to Star of the Sea. I don't know. And another one of my friends too from high school. Yeah, a lot of people went to Star of the Sea. She was crazy. She was whack. Anyways, let's move on to MLB reports.
Bottom of the 16th. Are you? Yeah. So MLB report, right? As we are recording this for the MLB report, playoff game, an ALDS, American League Division Series, Astros-Mariners, Astros up 2-1. The game is currently in the bottom of the 16th, tied 0-0.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Nope, never mind, on to the 17th. I'm pretty sure the longest game in postseason history was 18 innings. That was the Giants, and then also it was Giants Nationals 2014, and then Dodgers Red Sox 2018. Both had 18 innings.
That's fucking crazy. Hopefully the Astros don't lose.
Yeah, I mean it's just crazy at this point. Like I don't know. In other news, the Phillies won today. They're moving on to the next round. They beat the Braves some fucking how. I'm confused.
So who didn't win the MLB and didn't make it to the playoffs and actually apologized to the fans for not making it to the playoffs was the San Francisco Giants.
Yep. The Giants, for the first time in 140 years, though, they finished at exactly 500. So that's something, I guess.
Yeah.
After last year, anything was going to be a disappointment. Really, like anything realistically would have been.
Except winning.
Except for, that very small chance of winning. Also, currently, Yankees are beating the Cleveland Guardians 4-3 in the seventh inning. Which is...
Oh, they named themselves the Guardians?
Yep.
Fine.
And then I think so that's the 4 games going on right now. No. Yes. There's 4 games going on right now. I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, actually no, there is. Oh no, right. I think the Dodgers Padres. I think they play today or tomorrow. No, so it's actually currently. I don't want to jinx it. The Padres are beating the Dodgers in the series. It's a best of 5. So sorry, yeah. So it's the first of 3, right? The Dodgers are losing to the Padres in that series 2-1.
Jesus Christ.
So I guess go Padres. It feels really weird saying that. So yeah.
I don't ever want to say that.
Anyway, yeah, baseball it's been a very weird season. Just because there were less days off this year. Because I keep forgetting about this, but the season started a week late. And so instead of reducing the amount of games, they put the exact same amount of games, but they just removed some off days.
That's crazy. That's insane. That's awesome. That's great. But the Giants didn't win. Sadly, so,
Oh, yeah, actually, Ben, you know how I know that there's weather problems?
How?
Because the Padres-Dodgers game is delayed.
Oh,
today.
Dude, the weather's crazy. There's lightning and shit. It's mad cool. Anyway.
I think it's the first MLB report we've done in a very long time. Just because of the fact that until recently, it's because it didn't really make a lot of sense to do this because we aren't doing the weekly or the monthly thing anymore. So yeah.
But also, it takes a long time, and
it does. It's also just a lot of prep work, and by the time these episodes come out, it's probably not relevant anymore.
And it's also just stats that honestly nobody really cares about after a week.
Yeah. So, I mean, apart from postseason stuff, which I'm glad we're doing that now.
And that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
It dates the podcast too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, let's move on. Said, Ben, why don't you introduce the next slide?
Let's move on to the more popular sport in America that is American gridiron football. Apparently, that's an American thing. So my dumbass decided I was going to go watch football with some people in Lafayette, California.
Wait, Ben, why is the slide say what the fuck is fantasy football?
Well, I'm getting there. Okay, I'm getting there. So basically, I had to learn the ins and outs of fantasy football because otherwise I would not be able to converse with these people because they lived, breathed, talked. Well, actually, they breathed weed, but they lived and talked football.
Nice. Weed.
Anyways, so they were into fantasy football, watching football games just for fantasy. And I was like, that's crazy. And so I was like, what if I started doing that? What if I talked to some friends? What if I made friends that...
You gotta invest in it, though. I mean, it's kind of a costly thing if you want to get into it properly. Same with fantasy, really any sport.
Well, no, not really. If you don't actually pay, and you just do bragging rights.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's also $20 pots that you can do. So it's too early it's too late for me to start actually doing fantasy. But I kind of learned a little bit about it, and I've learned a little bit more about football too, which is really nice and cool. And I like watching it on Sunday because
I can hear my college's football games from my condo.
Oh my God, you have college football? That's crazy. We do not.
Do you actually not? Is Irvine really not?
Nope. That's that's a famous thing. In the 1990s, they were like, do you want a science library shaped like a uterus, or do you want a
Did you say uterus?
We want the science library shaped like a uterus.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I misheard you, and then I remembered, no, your science lab is actually shaped like a uterus.
You saw the science lab.
I did, yeah, you showed me there.
Yeah, I showed it to you.
Hey, did they finish filming the Pop-Tart movie?
I think, they did. It was a 2-day thing. I don't think they've released it yet, but when it releases, I'm watching it.
I really hope I can get my old footage off my now toast phone, because I wouldn't have that, because I have the footage from that.
the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Okay, so that's
directed
all I
by
have for
Jerry
my slide.
Seinfeld.
Okay, and Melissa McCarthy and Amy Schumer in the same fucking movie.
I'm gonna go watch. Assuming it's like a theater release and not straight to fucking like streaming, I'll watch it.
If it's straight to streaming, of course I'll watch it.
I want the experience of seeing that in like a proper theater. Like if it's playing at the Varsity College, actually, it would not surprise me if they put that on. As like, cause at the theater here we have like free Fridays for all students at SOU.
Lucky.
So it seems like something they put on for free Fridays.
That's crazy.
That's how I rewatched Top Gun Maverick the other week. Still a good film, even though it's basically even though the climax of that movie is basically just Star Wars.
Save it for the media slide.
What?
Next slide. Save it for the media slide. Next slide. Let's talk. Okay.
We have a Patreon.
We do, and we haven't mentioned this enough. If you want us to get free Discord Nitro so that we can keep being the kittens of Discord mods around the world, please donate to our Patreon. If you want me to spend thousands of dollars on ludicrous shit, if you want Oliver to buy another DSLR camera, cancel his debit card, and buy an Apple card, please donate to our Patreon.
I'm thinking about getting an Apple card, actually. It seems useful.
It's metal. It's metal. That shit's crazy. That's crazy.
And, also, if you want to send any, bang requests, send them there. So, comment on our Patreon. Like, there's a place, if you donate, there's a place we can add some, text. If you want, a bang request, put it there.
So, I hope you mean, we can deliver you a Bang energy drink, because I'm down.
Dude, I went into the fucking shopping cart the other day. It's kind of like a discount, kind of like a grocery outlet kind of discount store. Discount foods and all that. Basically just essential foods for cheapest. I'm gonna get a nice refreshing, either a carbonated water or maybe a cherry Coke or cherry Pepsi. I walked out with a Sour Patch Kids Ghost energy drink.
That's wonderful. Do you know what Prime is? It's Logan Paul's energy drink.
Apparently it's actually surprisingly good compared to Gatorade or Powerade, from what I've heard.
My friend is into Prime. He drank 2 fucking Primes in a night.
I've had it as an alcohol mixer. I've never had it on its own.
An alcohol mixer, dude. Albertsons has this lemonade drink. They call it a lemonade drink because it's like a cheese product.
It's like a Pringles crisps. Not because they're British, because they do not actually meet the qualification of being a potato chip.
That is surprising, but basically, it's a great chaser. It's a great chaser.
Oh.
It's a great chaser. Anyways, so let's move on.
Cock.
Talk about is good old Lizzie, because last time we filmed this podcast, Lizzie was still alive. She was kicking, she was screaming, she was being racist to Meghan Markle, but at this moment she was
defending her pedo son.
She's in a box.
Yeah,
she's dead.
Spinning in the grave.
Yep. And King Charles doesn't know how to sign something, so that's funny. Anyways, the roles are really fun.
Watching him try to conduct himself publicly is the most fun thing.
Honestly, the royal family is just really stupid and dumb. They should kind of
it's like a reality show, but not like Survivor, which can be argued as actually interesting. No, it's just like hell. It's like a really bad reality show.
We have 205 days until Charles is coronated. So there's 205 days for the most funny thing in the world to happen. And
how many assassination attempts do you think in that time?
0. No one gives a fuck. But
exactly.
The
thing is, if you're not trying to be assassinated by someone, can you really say that you're a public leader?
Yeah, nobody really
Come on.
gives a shit. But if he died, that would be really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
anyways.
that family, for being as inbred as they are, they tend to live a long time, which is weird as shit.
Yeah, a little weird. But inbred doesn't necessarily mean you live less long. It just means you have more recessive traits.
Eventually, we'll get to the point where they're all thumbs, literally. So.
I'm a walking thumb. Anyways, so
I'm a fucking thumb.
royal family. And the reason why, some of you people may be like, oh, the royal family, oh, whatever, they're nice. Don't worry about it. They're such a symbol of hope for many. But like the symbol of hope that they are for many is also a symbol of not hope for like most of the world.
Yep.
Like the majority of the world. And also, if you're an American, like that's stupid. Like, what are you doing? Don't be stupid. Don't be dumb. Like, think about who we fought to separate ourselves from. And think about why you're allying with England at this time of your life. Think about that. Think about the socio-historical reasons why England and the United States are friends.
I think I'd be more sympathetic about this if it was before she started, like not blaming / defending her son for being a pedophile and a general creep.
Yeah.
And also, she's a cousin fucker, so we should point that out too.
Yep, she's a cousin, isn't it? But then again, she's a British upperclassman. They're kind of all that.
She's something.
Yeah, she was something. She's dead.
Well, now she's just a corpse. She is still something, but that is a corpse.
So you gotta hand it to Morrissey on this one. He predicted it. He predicted that the Queen is dead. He predicted it. Anyways, so speaking of, I
want to say like about the Queen's death though, like. There's always these like jokes. Oh, the Queen's gonna like live forever. It happened seemingly very quickly though. Like about like a week before she died, there's like, oh, the Queen might be feeling ill, and then oh, she's gone. Like that was.
No, it was like the day before she died.
It was seemingly out of nowhere.
She met the Prime Minister of the UK and then died the next day, and then the new Prime Minister's government is getting dissolved, which is really fucking funny. That was funny as shit. But yeah.
I'm gonna go get a donut while we keep talking about this.
Oliver, I'm trying to get a fucking segue to move on. It's gonna be the best segue ever if you will just let me do the segue, please.
Okay.
Please. Okay. Anyways, like I said, you gotta hand it to Morrissey of the Smiths. He said the Queen is dead. Speaking of people predicting things that are very obvious and not actually being smart at all, let's talk about Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Oliver, any thoughts about him as a former Redditor? How do you feel?
He's an idiot.
Okay, cool. It's nice to see that the Redditor demographic is finally moving on from it.
What?
Well, Elon Musk was like really Are you recording this now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still going. I'm just walking around my house getting a donut while we're talking.
Elon Musk was just like. I always got the idea that it was people on Reddit who usually were the guys that were defending him, like, hand over foot. Like, they'd always be like, oh, he's just a misunderstood genius. When he called that one Thai rescuer a pedophile because the Thai rescuer was like...
He's decent at, like, conducting business, and that's maybe about it.
No,
he's not either. A fucking barcode, alright?
Yeah, he's like maybe good at conducting business. Maybe. He didn't invent anything. He's not smart like that. He's just stupid. And he's honestly stupid.
Yep.
And he's like, I don't know, people would defend him hand over foot. But then, finally he started talking about trying to solve the Ukraine-Russia crisis.
Oh, God, I forgot he did that. I was going to ask, why is his name on the slide? Then I remember he did that. I forgot about
it. And then he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to solve Ukraine and Russia.
Both sides called him a fucking moron. Like, everyone hates him for
Then he made the Redditors mad. You don't understand. He was like, oh, we need to give Crimea to Russia, is what he said. And I was like, and the Redditors are like, no. Because, Redditors are Redditors, Like, you don't mess with Redditors on Elon Musk or Ukraine. But what happens when Elon Musk...
My question is, what does 4chan think of all this?
4chan probably doesn't give a shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I probably don't care. But it's funny because now Redditors have to decide, do they want to support Ukraine or do they want to support Elon Musk? And it's funny watching them decide. Okay. Also, Elon Musk is like anti-trans, and then his ex-wife is now dating a trans woman, which is really funny, and might be the reason why Elon Musk is anti-trans. So,
boy.
That anti-trans person is Chelsea fucking Manning, who helped Edward Snowden with the leaks about the Iraq War, which is doubly, triply funny. Chelsea Manning, go. Anyways, speaking of rich people doing very weird things, you fucking heard it all now. We have to go through it. Kanye West.
Oh boy, strap in. This is gonna be an interesting one.
So, as you guys all know, Kanye West, a few years back, said some really stupid shit. And then he came back, and then he says some really stupid shit right now. And it's really weird because Kanye fans are usually the people who kind of come out in droves and they're like, oh, I'm going to defend him. But, like, no one is really defending him because he said, quote, when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people.
He also had that hoodie as well, didn't he? Or the sweatshirt, whatever it was?
The White Lives Matter hoodie, yes. And then he also, went on Tucker Carlson and was, like, praising Hitler. Which was okay. Kanye.
Oh, there's something else we need to talk about after this. That just makes me fucking so pissed.
It's just like,
I think you know what I'm going to talk about, Ben, but I'll bring it up.
I don't, but it's kind of this clearly, at what point do we start being like, oh, mental health? And then at what point do we start being like, yeah, but you're rich and you're spreading your ideas to a lot of people and your ideas are really shitty. Like, at what point do we do that? And I think that point is like now. And I think we saw it last time with just like.
Remember that time that Kanye ran for president? Remember that?
He's doing it again. That's why Kim broke up with him. And I think he's like stalking Kim Kardashian. No, he doxed his children. No, Kanye West doxed his children.
Is that the only reason that they broke up? I thought because he was being like a rampant asshole.
Well, no, and it was really because of the they were honestly Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are both kind of like assholes. But
it's a celebrity marriage. It's never gonna last. I think people know that from the start, but also just like. Man.
But like the reason was the politics,
right?
That Kim gave, and because Kanye just doesn't. Bro, it's just weird. I hope he gets what he. I hope he gets treatment.
Therapy.
Also, his ideas are really shit, and maybe he's actually thinking straight, which is kind of scary. If he's not on an episode right now. You know what I mean?
He's also been losing the spotlight a little bit in recent years, and that can be bad for someone who's been addicted to fame like he has.
That's true, and Kanye has, when he was about to lose the spotlight to Drake, he made a whole album just shitting on. I mean, yeah, he would totally do that. And I don't really at what point do we say stop platforming this dude?
Yeah.
They froze his Easy bank account. They kind of
Wait, really?
That's and that's a little. I mean, it makes sense, honestly.
Yeah. Also, breaking news: we're going to the 18th inning.
Yeah. Speaking of that. Okay.
Also, before we move on, I'm going to talk about something I'm really pissed off that happened today. I think you may have seen this. The Van Gogh incident, or Van Gogh, however you pronounce it.
That happened yesterday.
I know, but it happened yesterday, but I saw about this today. That's stupid. That's fucking...
Yeah.
The idiots who perpetrated the I don't care. You can call yourself activists if you want. I don't care. When you start doing stuff like that, you are no better than petty vandals. That's fucking terrible.
Do you know who they're paid by?
They're for an anti-oil company that's paid by oil.
The Gettys.
Essentially what they are. Essentially what they are is that I hate Elvis merch made by Elvis. That's pretty much what this is. And I just as someone, as a person and also someone who enjoys art and just design in general, as well as history, it's infuriating. And they need to again, there's talk about different consequences. I mean, obviously there's gonna be legal action against this. As there should be.
Yeah.
It needs to be
and
pretty
also,
severe.
If you wanted to do something that would use your body against oil, you could shut down a fucking pipeline.
Yeah.
You could go to a power plant. You could
don't destroy an incredibly famous and beautiful work of art.
Well, he didn't destroy it.
Damage it. I mean, it's not destroy. It's fixable, but still, it's still defacing a work of art, and I don't stand for that. So,
do you know what I find very strange and kind of a media critique, a media comment?
Yeah.
So last year, actually I think it was this summer, the Supreme Court, there was a guy that burned himself alive in front of the Supreme Court on Earth Day, April 24th,
really?
To protest against the EPA ruling that was going to come out. I
didn't hear about that.
Exactly. You didn't hear about it. But you did hear about these protesters who were paid by oil companies that went to throw soup on art. So that makes you think, like, why?
I actually heard about that because my art teacher sent around a group email about that, so I actually know about that one.
But I'm saying it was covered in the media, like, extensively,
right.
which is like, the question is, like, why? And the answer is that these
political agenda. This is why.
Yeah, nobody wants to admit it. Nobody wants to admit it. That climate change is a thing. That's like horrible. I mean, like, no, that people can actually, like, stop it. You know, like, you can do a lot of things to stop climate change that are as radical as what those guys did, but, like, could actually be good.
Yeah, without like defacing something that a lot of people care about and doing that. Yeah, like.
And it doesn't involve, like, burning down. It doesn't involve killing yourself. That's like a, you know.
Yeah. But, like that. Yeah, I'm actually. I've looked at that now. Yeah, it's messed up.
It's definitely horrible, but you know, it's a form of protest.
The world's a really messed up place. I think we all know that. Yeah. And incidents like this, and especially like you said, don't make it any better.
Nope.
It just kind of illuminates the fact that this world is really fucked up.
And it's gonna get more fucked up unless we do something about it.
Yeah. And speaking of which, Oregon governor elections, both are bad, and I'm terrified.
I will say this.
Yep.
Resident Brandon has been so awesome recently.
Brandon.
Yes. So bro was like dark Brandon, you know what I mean? Like Joe, like he. So he started by canceling student debt, like $10,000 of it, which helps a lot of people. Unless it's private.
Still not a campaign promise, but it's something.
Yeah, I think he expunged. No, he didn't expunge. He got rid of like federal marijuana possession laws, right?
Good.
So like he got rid of, he expunged those convictions. He was like, he stopped working with the GOP and like whipped the mansion into shape. I think they codified abortion rights. I'm pretty sure they did. So
he's doing something. It's better than I think the first year of his presidency, my mind was just like, what the heck? He's done nothing.
He's done more than Obama.
He's
done more than Obama.
He has a lot of work to do to undo what was done by the previous administration, which is a lot. So
or undo the thing that was done by everybody else not doing shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that the guy that Obama put in office to make him seem more appealing to older, more conservative people is outflanking him to the left.
Yep.
That is fucking crazy.
Yep.
And it definitely tarnishes Obama's legacy.
Yep. Also, let's move on. What's next in the news?
So there's a student housing crisis in basically everyone. They don't have enough low-cost homes. You have to have an income of $300,000 per year. I think your parent does, a single parent,
fucking
in order
hell,
to qualify to rent in Irvine.
What?
Yeah. So,
okay, how does this happen though?
Well, it's a guarantor thing. So they need you to make a certain amount. They need you to make first and last month's rent, but then they need to show that you're good for the money, and you're not actually just borrowing for it, which leads to people like. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a fucked up situation. One of my friends, thanks to a late night miracle, he got housing, but before that, it was a week before school, and it didn't look like he was gonna have any housing. So that was really scary. Thankfully, I have continued housing, but not everyone did. UCI can say that, and it's the case at UCSD. It's the case everywhere. Honestly, it's just really fucked up.
Meanwhile, SOU, we don't even own half our dorms. The school rents them.
That is crazy.
Because they got scammed out of a swimming pool. That's a whole story. If you want to, you can probably look it up online if you guys want to know more about that. They signed away all the money for a swimming pool to a fake contracting company in India.
Oh my god.
And somehow that's not an exaggeration.
That is wonderful. Okay, moving on to the Gotham Knights. I don't know why we have. Oh yeah.
Actually, I want to mention this very quickly. Coltrane, the guy who played Hagrid in Harry Potter, among other things, an actual British icon for the right reasons, has died. Age 76. That's really sad. He was also in James Bond. He played Zukovsky in GoldenEye and The World's Not Enough, for people who don't watch Harry Potter, I guess.
I do watch James Bond.
Yeah, that is some people, I assume. Not a lot of people, but some people. So yeah, I didn't really have time to do Xbox Deals of the Week. I'm just going to talk about Gotham Knights. Game I've been... I think this is arguably one of the most hyped games of this entire year. It's by some of the same people who did the Batman Arkham games, which is one of the best reviewed franchises of the 2010s. Just a really great franchise, great gameplay, very similar gameplay style to the Arkham games. And it's got 4-player co-op multiplayer, but also it's made specifically for single player, but you can also play with up to 4 players, which is good. So, if people don't have friends like me, I can play it solo. So I'm excited for it. It's got cross-platform. I'm also really excited that we're now kind of properly in the era of current gen support. So you can cross-play with last gen, so Xbox One and PS4. But also you can also lock it, so you're just cross-playing if you want to do it with Series X, Series S, and PS5, which is good because you get all the benefits of that. So 4K, 120 FPS, Yep.
Houston is winning 1-0 at the
I just saw that. I'm watching the pitch by pitch. I was gonna bring that up, but I was doing the segment. Yes.
Okay, sorry to interrupt this. They stopped selling alcohol at T-Mobile Stadium 8 innings ago.
That's probably for the best, I think. Otherwise, fans would get. I think that's typically just a rule in the postseason. In extra innings, especially if it's a clinch game. But yeah, Astros are winning. Yep. So what I'm excited for though, just because it's we're finally in the era of full support for current gen consoles, meaning 4K 120 FPS. Previously, when games were being made mostly for last gen stuff, you'd have to choose whether or not you want performance mode or graphics mode. Now you don't have to choose. You get perfect full performance, which I like. And also just I'm a really big fan of these games, not just because I'm a fan of comics in general, but also just because I'm a really big fan of these kind of open world action type games. I played a lot of Batman Arkham. Back when I had a Wii U, Arkham City was the biggest thing I played, and so I'm really excited for this. It's been I think it's been 7 years since Arkham Knight, and now just to clarify for people who might not understand. While it's made by the same developers, and it's another DC property, it's not in the same universe as Batman Arkham. That is the case for the Suicide Squad game that's coming out next year. But it's I'm really excited for open world action. They showed off a lot of stuff. We actually talked about this originally back when I did my DC fandom segment in 2020. So it's been almost 2 years, actually over 2 years when I think about it, since I did that segment. But I'm really excited for this. And yeah, currently, as Ben mentioned, it's the top of the 18th. Astros versus Mariners. Astros are winning 1-0.
Finally, Mariners can not win.
Also, I want to point out, Ben, this is the first time that you and I have actually been alive during a Mariners postseason run.
Oh my God!
The last time they made the postseason was 2021.
What?
Sorry. It was 2001. 2001. My bad. My brain is elsewhere today. I apologize for that.
Misspoke. That's crazy.
I'm gonna censor that out of the audio. Oh, speaking of audio, I'm gonna mention this. So in the last episode we talked about should we release a really shitty episode we recorded in LA, the original episode 31. And I put up a poll for that on Instagram, and we got 4 to 2 people wanted to see it. Now the problem. That episode is on my old phone, which is currently bricked, and I can't get it off of there. So, oops. On the bright side, you guys won't have to hear a very shitty episode. However, if I do manage to get my phone to work, I'll get the stuff off of that. I will play it for you all. I will post that probably unedited on the YouTube channel. Or actually, it's only 20 minutes. I might put it up as an IG video on Instagram. So. Yeah. Anyway, that's about, we're not done with that one. Ben, you want to move on?
Yes, so let's talk about the new podcast media update. So, I watched Cars 3 last night.
Didn't you watch that in theaters when it came out?
Maybe? I watched the Emoji Movie in theaters when it came out. You might be
I've played the video game of Cars 3. It wasn't very good.
Cars 3 was like an actually good movie, and people that say it isn't are just haters. Honestly, it's a really good
Cars 3 Driven to Win, the game was really shitty. It came out in like 2018. It looked like it came out in 2004.
Well, you can't judge a movie off of the game, because then the Lego movie would be like...
Dude, Lego Movie video game, not the fucking portable, not the handheld, but the actual console one. I actually finally played that.
Lego GTA.
Yes, Ben, Lego GTA. But also, I finally played the actual console Lego Movie video game. It's actually quite good. For Lego game, it's actually not bad.
And then the other movie I watched was Bros, which is Billy Eichner's rom-com. It's cute. It's actually cute. It's cute. Oh, I also watched Nope. Nope is a really good movie.
Yeah, Nope was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It was less predictable than I expected it to be, which is good for something like that. Like
it was so
most of those kind of films have most of those films have a not a great premise, but an okay production. I thought it was a pretty good film. I actually watched it again.
That was just like it was so weird and it was so cool.
It was very bizarre, which I enjoy that now and again in movies.
The TMZ guy.
God, TMZ came with my TV again. I can't figure out how to get rid of it.
3 miles an hour. Okay. And then in terms of music, I've been listening to the same shit that I always listen to, plus The Weeknd. The Weeknd's very good. You should listen. You should watch. He's very indie and he's very underground. You should.
I like it. It's a various mix of styles, which I enjoy.
Nowadays, he does 80s shit, which is really awesome. And then David Bowie, because I'm back on the Lily Kick.
Oh yeah, David Bowie's good.
Yeah, he's very good.
Always was, really.
All right, how about you?
For me, movies. What have I watched? I've been watching a bunch of shit for free, and
Family Guy.
Oh yeah, I've actually not watched any this season. Top Gun Maverick. I saw that twice. It was good. I actually enjoyed that more. I enjoyed it more than I thought it was. I mean, yeah, it was pretty much just a mindless action film, and yes, it was 2.5 hours, but it didn't feel like that because the pacing was good, which I enjoyed. I watched it twice, even though the climax of that film was basically just Star Wars. But you know what? I thought it was fun. I thought it was enjoyable. It was a good little movie. I watched it with my parents actually when they were here in the condo a while ago, when I first moved in here. Oh yeah, this is actually the first episode we recorded in the condo. That's
No, you filmed in the condo before.
No, we did not. We covered this last time.
Oh.
I FaceTimed you here. We didn't do any recording of it though. We recorded in the dorm a couple of times. We recorded something when I was getting the condo. We never actually recorded anything in the condo. Oh yeah, I rewatched No Time to Die. God, that movie was so bad. Fucking hate that movie. Like they couldn't decide if they wanted James Bond to be funny, which when it's Daniel Craig, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, especially not after again oh yeah, funny one-liners, but the movie is so dark and depressing. Like, stop. Just stop. Just the ending, I didn't buy into any of the emotional stuff. It was just so, oh yeah, wow, he suddenly randomly has a kid. That's fun. Why? Why do we just detail the kid's barely in the movie and actually, it's almost a plot device. It's like, great, thanks. I don't know. And then my friend spent a couple nights here last week, and she got me hooked on Survivor. So I've been watching that because I found that I have all the previous 42 seasons I can watch, and then I'm also watching the current season. So that's good.
Isn't there only 2 on Netflix?
They have 2 on Netflix, but the rest are on Paramount Plus and Hulu. They're also on VidMan. Yeah, but for some reason they have I think they have season 13 on. They have seasons I think they have season 38. They've got David vs. Goliath and I think and Micronesia on Netflix. They picked 2 very random seasons. It's a good show though. I'm actually really enjoying it a lot more than I thought it would. So that's fun.
Vidman.
What?
Vidman.
Oh yeah, Vidman. I thought I said Hitman. I'm like, are they making another Hitman movie? Please no.
Hitman 5.
Although actually, the game, the team that makes the team that made the recent Hitman trilogy is now making James Bond games. That's good.
Hitman.
So, Ben, it's been another episode, another good episode. Do you want to read the email joke?
Yeah, sure. So, we're always looking for viewer mail, and you guys never give it to us. But, make sure that we have an email box you can send it to. So pretty much anything you've normally used as a doctrine to overthrow the British monarchy, send it to Jenkins123Jenkins123gmail.com. That's Jenkins123Jenkins123gmail.com. To be clear, this is something that if Prince Charles saw it, he would immediately die of a heart attack. So I want you to send your juiciest, craziest questions to Jenkins123Jenkins123gmail.com. That's Jenkins123Jenkins123gmail.com. Fuck you and goodbye.